that was the funniest frame ever. That like they were both holding each other's finger awkwardly, and then suddenly her boobs floated into frame.
Love it, icon. Hi, I'm Fauzi.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
And today we're ranking the Singles Inferno 2 cast. And we are going to be harsh.
Or F.
Okay, the end. Thank you for watching. That's it. So if y'all didn't already know what Singles Inferno is, it's a Korean reality dating show. Which is kind of funny lah that they put us here. Because we were also in a similar reality dating show.
That is true. Oh my gosh, we're the most gossipy people.
I know, right? What was your first impression of the show when you first watched it in season 1?
Oh, I thought it was going to be like really, really steamy.
Yeah.
But no lah, it's not lah. Koreans are quite like conservative.
I feel like this season got a lot of hype. Because I think after the first season, everybody was, excited for the next season. And then this season, right, the trailer was pretty good. But what is your overall impression of season 2?
I watched season 1 and I would say that, okay, maybe because it's season 1. So the people are more memorable and because the concept is fresh.
Yes.
So for season 2, they did almost exactly the same thing. It felt a bit like you watched season 1 but with less exciting people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna rank the cast of season 2 and we have a tier list to follow. We have the S tier, basically should live in paradise. Wow. We've got A tier, absolutely main character vibes. B tier, built different. C tier, cute but mid. D tier, deserve better. E tier, and F tier flopped.
So we will rank them based on attractiveness,
Okay.
personality, behavior, as well as like their interactions with other cast members, the hype that they got, entertainment value, and personal opinion.
Wow. I think personal opinion is 90%.
Yeah, I think so also.
First person.
Nadine. I think that she is a cult favorite.
I think, right, for her, right, I don't know if I would say she's typically Korean beautiful. I would say she's a little bit more got the American girl ABG vibe, and I can see why I think initially not many of the guys were particularly drawn to her. Because I think to me, her USP is that she's smart.
Yeah, she is. She's very smart. She is a Harvard student.
Correct.
Not just Harvard, pre-med Harvard.
Sister is like an icon.
I would say on first impression, right, she looks a bit aloof.
Which, to be fair, I think it's pretty attractive. Because she doesn't take things too seriously, I feel. She like a bit like, floating, a bit like a fairy, that kind.
I think she's very easygoing as well. Like the part where, what's her name? Minsu?
Yeah.
I think it was a very iconic moment of the entire show when she asked Jin Young out instead of letting Nadine go to paradise with him. Although it was quite obvious that Nadine had an interest in Jin Young. And her reaction to that was just like, she just smiled. She didn't look like disappointed. She covered it quite well, and she was I won't say a good loser lah, but like she just like took it in her stride lor. She's like, okay lor, okay, now you talk about personal opinion. Right? I feel like she's too good for any of the guys.
Truly that.
I feel like none of the guys could match up with her.
100%. I totally agree with that. I think she is way above the guys' leagues, man. Okay, so overall, are we feeling with her? Are we vibing with her?
For me, I think she's quite A tier. Like, I didn't find anything super negative with her. Throughout the show, my opinion of her was just like that. Like, it was pretty high and it didn't dip.
I think I agree with you on the A tier. I don't know if she belongs on the S tier as yet, because I do feel like she wasn't very exciting in the show. Okay, let me give you my thoughts.
Okay.
I think in terms of looks, right, I would say he's closest to what I would find attractive in a man.
Oh.
Yeah. Wait, whoa. Just because he's got that clean-cut look, very sporty look, he's really got that very mature vibe, which I quite like.
This is not Fauzi's Inferno.
Oh, sorry. I would just like to invite all these men to just come into my paradise. But throughout the show, God have mercy, couldn't have faster gone from the top all the way to the bottom, man.
In the first few episodes, he seemed quite genuine. But slowly as he started to go on dates with the ladies, I get the kind of vibe from him that I have gotten from guys from Tinder. They show a lot of interest in you at first. But then when they go on a date with you, when they find one small thing that they don't like or whatever, then they will like withdraw. Like he will show the disappointment. He will show that like, who is it? Is it Sugi that didn't want to drink with him?
Yeah, Sugi.
Yeah, then he was just like, oh, like a bit like the
Okay, but then in terms of entertainment value, what do they bring to the show? Nothing.
He's not entertaining at all.
He really didn't do much lah. Personal opinion, not much lah.
Not much opinion about it.
Sad to say, it ends with his looks and that's about it. Because I do think he's a little bit attractive, I would give him like an E. He didn't flop. No, because he didn't completely flop. I do think that he is very attractive in the most superficial manner. I gave him an E lah.
I think I would give him like a D or E.
Wow!
I took into consideration the fact that, he has a lot of good superficial qualities. Other than that, maybe a D or E. So you can average out probably to an E. Oh, the hot favorite.
She's not my hot favorite though.
Let's talk about her attractiveness.
Okay.
You said that she's not attractive.
I get why
people like her.
Yes, because she's got a very conventionally
attractive
perfect Korean face. She's just not my type. And I attribute this to her personality and her very coy behaviors and mannerisms, which I find very to me is like a no.
For me, I find that she is very attractive. She has all the qualities. Freaking, she's Miss Korea. But honestly, her personality, I just cannot. Somebody pointed out that she just keeps doing this.
Yeah.
Maybe some people find it cute. I find it a bit strange, but her personality, nothing to shout about. I think I wouldn't be friends with her. I don't think she will make a good friend because she's very boring. Oh no, shit, the beach is coming up.
It's true. I must say, I do feel like that she knows what she wants, which I did appreciate. She was very certain, when Dongwoo, for example, she was very certain that she don't like him. She moved on. She went quickly away.
She ran.
Yeah. And then of course, just nice, the Jin Young came, and then of course she turned her attention towards him.
The boobs.
Sister.
Can I just say that was the funniest frame ever? That they were both holding each other's finger awkwardly, and then suddenly her boobs floated into frame.
Love it, icon.
Okay, entertainment value, she quite entertaining with the breasts floating into frame. But other than that, I think she doesn't really have super high entertainment value. Her entertainment value is her face. I will give her a... Okay, if you say main character, she does have main character vibes throughout the entire show. So I will give her an A or B.
I'm gonna give her a C, D.
Oh, wow.
So I think average out, right?
B,
C, yeah. I think maybe B. Well, I or B.
Actually, I don't really have a strong impression of this guy.
Okay, Jongwoo, why?
He only went to Paradise at the second last episode, right?
Yes.
Episode 9, right? I think that's why I don't really have much of an impression for him. I think throughout the whole thing, he was pretty much overshadowed by all the other guys.
Truly.
Because they were more front and center, especially Jin Young, whoa, Sugi, blah, 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 that sort of thing. And I think he didn't even talk to many other girls.
He almost did not.
Yeah.
Not in the way of trying to get to know them, maybe as a friend, yes. But he was basically hard set out on one and only Suki. Yeah, shall we watch the clip? This is to me one of the most cringiest moments.
Oh my god!
This show can be summarized by him just crying, to be fair.
I'll give him a C.
Yeah, I will go CD.
Yeah, not unlikable for sure, but he kind of fades in the background, especially compared to all the other guys. Alright, now we have the Mr. Popular, Mr. Kim Jin Young, who arrived in Paradise, I think,
in the middle of the show.
I think the first few episodes, but not during the...
Yeah, not the first reveal, with his tattoos and buff body.
Yeah, then everybody's like, ooh! Suddenly he come and play the game, the tug of war thing.
Oh, let's see the clip. Wow, look at that. What a daddy.
At first, honestly, I was quite impressed that he's from UDT, soldier. Then after that, right, I started seeing what he really does on TikTok. So basically, he's actually a content creator.
Yes.
But the kind of content that he creates, right, is totally not him. He looked like the cool type, I'm cool ex-soldier. He create all the that kind of shit,
I was very intrigued by him. I think because he came across very goofy and very weird and straightforward. And it was very different from the rest of the guys. I think the rest of the guys were a bit more proper. He was a bit more like a wild child.
I think bad boy lah. Typical bad boy vibes.
Yeah, Brenda would love this guy. This is Brenda's type. The moment she see a peek of the tattoo from under his shirt,
I think she will
she
just
died
melt.
already. Yeah, already she jumped.
Then behavior. He was so nice to Minsu.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He really gave a chance. Even till the end, he still say like, let's like meet outside and continue this conversation. Like, entertainment value, yeah, I think for me, we needed him.
Yeah.
We needed him in the show to make it more exciting.
I think he's arguably the most interesting guy out of all the guys.
Yeah.
Lah. What will you give him?
Wow, it's kind of between A and B.
Me too. I also think A and B.
Yeah, between there, I give him chance. I give him like a bit more on a
A.
Yeah, a bit A, but like not as 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 like Nadine. I feel like Nadine's on the AS. He's on a B tier. Next person, Miss Minsu. Probably the person that I would have least opinion about.
Because she arrived the latest along with Sejun, I think she was quite desperate to make like an impression because she has a lot less time compared to the rest.
Yeah.
So maybe she just quickly went for like straight for the guy that she physically felt was, the best for her.
Yeah, correct.
But I think that she really left a sour taste in most people's mouths when she went into like Nadine's and Jin Young's conversation. Like there was no like, hi, can I talk to him? She just went there and she just sat down.
Right.
And then Nadine was like, she very automatic, like just like, oh okay, someone offer her blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this girl, she doesn't know how to take a clue.
Okay, in terms of attractiveness. Yeah, I think I don't know what to say about her lah. She looks like a girl.
I was quite surprised when they say that she was from Miss Korea. I don't think she's, okay, fair enough. I don't think she's ugly, but I don't think she's like Miss Korea pageant vibe.
To be fair, compared to the rest of the girls, right?
Then personality, could not tell anything much other than the desperate stuff. I think entertainment value is the only part where she made everybody pissed off. That she go and join the conversation. Then that's about it. What will you give her?
I think she's a flop lah. Because honestly, she didn't add anything extra to this show.
I think I'll give her like E or F. Okay, next we have Super Ting Park Sejong.
My first impression of her that she would have a very, very fun personality.
Unfortunately, the way that she looks and the way that maybe she's stereotyped also did not go over well with the men, probably because they felt that she's a party girl maybe. Personality, I was quite...
To be fair, I don't know much about her.
No, actually, okay, because she didn't get to go to Paradise and she didn't get to interact with much people, which was very unfortunate. But I could see that she would have made a pretty good girlfriend. Like as in girlfriend, like a friend to the ladies.
Oh,
because
yes.
whenever everybody came back from Paradise, right, she would be like excited for them. Then she would ask, how was it? That sort of thing. And like when other girls went to Paradise, she would feel happy for them. She looks happy for them. I mean, yeah.
Let's see the clip.
So she went to comfort Soyi when Soyi was sort of rejected. Little did she know she didn't even get to go to Paradise. She's the ultimate rejected. What will you rate her?
I like her, but I think like she's giving me a CD vibe. I think the circumstances of the show just wasn't in her favor. Okay, Mr. Kim Se-jun also came in at the same time as Minsu, yes. Honestly, I think for me, I was actually very attracted to his very pan-Asian look. He doesn't look typically Korean. Like he got a bit Angmo vibes. Got the Angmo mix vibes. I don't know if that's true. A bit annoyed they keep adjusting his hair every single frame. Every single sentence he will adjust his hair. I'm like, stop it.
Maybe he used to the long hair.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, he always had like such a, again, like goofy vibe about him. But the one thing that I feel like I would say, kind of made me feel a little bit more interested in him is when he revealed that he actually was suddenly interested in Soyi. And the reason being was that Soyi was the one kind of giving him attention. He wasn't talking about the superficial. It was because that girl was like kind of giving her... Yeah, it was nice to him. So he was attracted to someone who was just present. Which I was like, that's very refreshing because most of the other guys were like, pretty. I like her. The one thing that I stuck in my mind, right, is he keeps saying, every time I'm thinking about you, or every time when I don't see you, I get anxious. It's like treating Zoe like she's going to break, and any point, really that vibe.
I would say I give him like a B or C lah. He was not like super memorable, but he was generally likable.
Yeah, I would give him a B.
Okay, next we have, oh my gosh, I don't like her.
Why?
There was this one part where she was supposed to pick who is going to Paradise with her.
Yeah.
She was like,
Yeah, it's the editing lah.
I don't really have a good impression of her. Maybe because I don't like girls who are very dramatic in a damsel in distress kind of vibe.
I completely get where you're coming from. My initial impression of her was like, wow, she damn annoying, sir. And like, to me, like, girls should get the hint. Same lah, like, I felt like she should get the hint when Youngjae was obviously not interested in her. But actually, the turning point for me for her was when she just went up to Youngjae and say like, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now, and I want you to be honest. And I think that interaction was when my feelings for Youngjae and Zoe flipped. And I suddenly started feeling bad for her because she really expressed her emotions. And that's why when Sejun came for her, I was a little bit happy for her.
In terms of attractiveness, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think she's ugly. She's
not
just
ugly.
not singles Inferno.
She looks like a university student lah.
Yeah. She looked like a typical university student that will walk past you and you will not take a second look at her.
Yeah, but I got a little bit of a soft spot for her because she studied acting. And then like, me as a theatre student, I get it. We are expressive people.
Personality, I think she's too meek and too damsel in distress for my liking.
Yeah, she's very girly girl. Yeah, but she won games. Congratulations to her, man. Sister, I feel like she really proved herself lah. Because in the beginning of the season, she really was like damn lame like that.
I would give her like C or D.
Same, she's belonging CD vibes. Yeah, but I do feel a little bit happy that she got some sort of joy and happiness at the end of the show lah. Youngjae. Now, Mr. Youngjae.
He was quite popular in the first few episodes. He got a bit of like a bit geeky.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, his feet, like the feet kind of geek, you know.
Correct. He felt like an average guy, good looking, above average looking guy, and he seemed like the kind of guy that you would want a long-term relationship with.
But
brother needs to grow some balls. Because I felt like
he didn't dare.
That's fine, but he kept leading her on. By not rejecting her, he kept leading her on. So I was very, very irritated.
I was quite irritated.
I was questioning his intentions. Is he like keeping her around just in case, you know, somebody doesn't like him, you know? So I got that vibe. So I get a bit of an ick from that lah.
He gives me a bit of the kind of guy that might give you hot cold vibes when you date him.
Boring.
I'll say D.
Yeah, gosh, I'm gonna give him a DE. Just because the fact that he kept not saying or rejecting Zoe was something like very red flag for me. I don't really care. Sister Soeun.
Okay, so in terms of attractiveness, right? For me, I think she's very pretty. I would say that she's on the league with Sugi. I think partially also because both of them are Miss Korea.
She's got a very natural beauty, I feel.
Yeah, she has a very natural beauty, not too perfect.
Compared to Sugi.
Yeah, compared to Sugi. She gives off the vibe like she's a main character of a drama. And when I watch her, I don't feel uncomfortable.
No, not at all.
Yeah, she feels very genuine.
Even when Zoe was like expressing, I guess, disappointment when Youngjae is kind of like not giving her that vibe, she even like talked to her lah.
In terms of her behavior and her interaction with like other cast members, I found it very comfortable. She's like the kind of person that can be friends with anybody.
Yes.
Like they're very popular, but yet she's still friendly to everybody.
Yeah, she's
everybody
not a mean girl.
likes her.
She's not a mean girl.
Yeah. But in terms of entertainment value, I don't think she brought like a lot.
Not much. I'll give her like a B.
Yeah, I'll give her a B.
She's a solid B.
Okay, next person. And the last person, Taobao Namjoon. I think that he has the ultimate golden retriever boyfriend
my god,
vibes.
it's totally that
Not a bad quality.
Yeah.
Some women might find it a bit stifling, but I find it endearing. I like golden retriever boyfriend.
To me, right, the one thing, and this is to me a very important factor when I'm looking for a partner, someone who can cook very well. Have you seen him use that knife?
Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
For a partner, right, to have like all sorts of skills, right, cooking is the best.
Truly that The way he cut his onions, I turn on.
Damn hot, especially when guys, right, they can cut, right, and then they talk to you, right, and then they do, wow, it's damn hot. Personality, just typical golden retriever vibes. Yeah, either you like it or you hate it.
Correct.
Yeah. Behavior, I think when he interacts with the other cast members, he feels very cheerful.
Yeah.
He feels quite genuine.
He feels very friendly lor. He was like everyone's friend, and like even when Zoe picked him to go to Paradise, he really just set out to make her feel happy.
Hype and entertainment value, I don't think he brought a lot. I feel like he was a supporting character.
He really was. But yes, his fingers were the hype for me. With him curling that and chopping onions, I was like, yes, you can do whatever you want with those fingers to me. I'll give him like a BC between there.
Me too. Alright, so if you could create a whole new person for season 3 to be in the S tier, who would it be?
S tier, the intelligence of a Nadine.
Yeah.
I would say intelligence of Nadine. Maybe she really graduated. She's a doctor now. Actually, just Nadine. Just Nadine, but a higher, upgraded version of her.
For the guys, if I were to mix their qualities, I would say maybe personality of a little bit of Jin Young, a little bit of Han Bin, somewhere in the middle. Not too simpy, but not too golden retriever. And then I would have somebody like Dongwoo's bank account. That'd be great, maybe.
Love that. Who doesn't want that? Let's be honest.
And the chef skills.
Oh my god, truly. You just want a hybrid of all the men.
Yeah.
Would you watch a season 3?
Would I watch a season 3?
I would say no, but I will still watch it.
So yes lah.
Yeah. I will watch like begrudgingly.
Yeah.
And then end up, right, next year we'll be here again.
Yeah.
To rate our season 3 contestants. God damn it.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this episode of ZULA Perspectives.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And let us know what you want us to rank next. Bye!